One employment law that affects almost every employee in America is the Family and Medical Leave Act, or FMLA. What's so great about FMLA is it provides job-protected leave for qualifying family and medical reasons, and it requires the continuation of health benefits. That means if you leave the job, it must be ready for you when you come back. Now, which employees are eligible to use FMLA? Well, you have to have worked for your employer for 12 months at least, have at least 1,258 service hours during that 12 months, and work at a location where the employer has at least 50 employees. Now, flight attendants and flight crews have different requirements. So what employers are required to let their employees use FMLA? Well, private sector employers who employ 50 or more employees in 20 or more work weeks in a calendar year. So basically it excludes holiday workers. Public employers and local education agencies. So all three of these must let their employees use FMLA if they are eligible. So the leave is protected for the birth of a child within 1 year of the birth for both the mom and the dad, to care for a child, spouse, or parent who has a serious health condition, or a serious health condition that makes you, the employee, unable to work, and also reasons related to a family member's service in the military. So one common question is, can I take the leave all at once, or do I have to? And yeah, the leave can be taken all at once in blocks, except for the birth of the child. That must be taken all at once. It can also be taken on a part-time basis. So maybe for whatever medical condition, you can only work 3 or 4 hours a day. That's protected. Now, it is unpaid unless you have PTO or sick days to use. And if you do have PTO days, your employer can force you to use those during the leave. Now, employers must notify you if you're eligible to use FMLA within 5 days of the request, and they must provide you with your rights and responsibilities. So nobody should be surprised what the employer's expectations are you during the FMLA leave. Now, also, the employer can request a medical certificate, which is a question that we get a lot. Can my employer ask from documentation from my doctor? Yes, they can. Now, one exception is teachers and certain key employees may not be guaranteed to get their same position back. So that is one carve-out within the law that requires some specifics that we can get into if you have questions about that. So how does an employee go about using FMLA? Now, if you know in advance that you're going to need to use this for a medical condition, or just something's coming up that you're going to need to use it, you must give your employees 30 days notice. Now, if you don't know, if it's an emergency situation, it just requires you to let your employer know ASAP. Now, if your employer has a normal call-in procedure that you have to follow when you call out sick, those also must be followed when using FMLA. To apply for the Family and Medical Leave Act, visit the Department of Labor Wage and Hour Division website.